Hello, my beautiful Capricorn, and welcome to your moon reading. This is just a 7-card moon circle reading. If you haven't seen one before on my channel, please do check that out if you'd like. Otherwise, if you are new to my channel, thank you for joining me. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for sticking around. I know I was gone for quite a while with some personal issues and gone to Europe for the summer, but I am so glad that you are still here and back. And I would love to continue with this. So please don't forget to hit that notification bell, like, subscribe, all that great stuff, because I will be putting up weekly readings and your September monthly reading soon. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get right at your lovely Capricorn moon reading, shall we? All right, this first position is indicative of where you are now or what you're facing. The second position is kind of what led you to this position. Third position is similar to a challenge card and a typical tarot reading, in that it's kind of what's keeping you in this cycle. The fourth card is what is the ultimate outcome, or optimal outcome rather, should you take the optimal steps to get there. And the optimal steps are the 5th, 6th, and 7th position. So we will certainly go through this, hopefully give you a little bit more insight for those of you who might be facing something, having some questions, wondering what you might want to do or need to do. So right now we have acceptance, okay? And I feel like for most of you, the vibe that I'm getting with this is that you are really, it's not that you're not accepting something, but it's that you need something, okay? Maybe you need help. Maybe you need something from someone. And for many of you, I feel like you have a problem with accepting help, right? I feel like a lot of you, you're probably needing something. Maybe you have even reached out, which is really not like you, and you're just having an issue accepting the help, okay? I feel like there is help there for you for whatever your problem is. I don't know if it's, something with a job, a connection, a contact, if it's, you need help financially, you need help with, just running your kids places, if it's just minimal things or something major. But I do get the distinct vibe that for many of you, this is a difficulty with acceptance, okay? For some of you, it may be a situation you're having trouble accepting, okay? So it could be something where, you have a situation where you've just broken up or, been dumped, unfortunately, or you've been let go from a job or laid off, that kind of thing, and you're having a very difficult time accepting it. But again, I think this goes right back to the same situation where that's putting you in a position where you need to reach out for help, but you have trouble accepting help, so you're not doing what you need to be doing with that. Again, I feel like all of this is kind of boiling down to the fact that you guys are in a need of some sort and you're not willing to accept or ask for the help, okay? Now, what's gotten you there is new beginnings, and that's letting me know for many of you that you are entering a new phase of life. So again, maybe this is something where you are looking to buy a house. Now you have kids in school or sports and they're running you ragged and you need help getting them places. Maybe you are looking for a new relationship and you need help with contacts because you don't really know how to meet people at this stage of life. It's a lot harder, when you're out of school or older, those kinds of things. Maybe you did get let go from a job, or you've recently broken up, but you're in a new phase, a new cycle. And again, this is where you need something, and it doesn't have to be anything, again, major. This could be something very minimal. You need somebody to help you clean the house. You need somebody to help you motivate, whatever it is, but you don't like to ask for help and you don't like to accept it even when it's offered, okay? That's a problem, but it's all because of a new situation that you're in. And I definitely see that being where most of you are. Now, what's keeping you there is fruition, okay? And you're kind of like, well, how does something coming to fruition keep me from being there? Well, I think the situation with fruition is that you are a person who likes to see things through to fruition, right? You are a person who, if you don't do it on your own, hands-on, every step of the way, you feel like you failed. If you have to ask for help, you feel like you failed. If you let anybody help you, you feel like you've not saw it through on your own terms, at your own pace, at your own skill, you've done it yourself, and you don't like that, right? So because of, that situation, that's keeping you in this, right? But the thing is, it's kind of like pride goeth before a fall, right? Allow people to help you. A lot of people want to help you and it makes them feel good too, right? It's not that you're a burden, and it's not a failure to ask for help. Everybody needs some help sometime, okay? And you are going to have to accept that. But for you specifically, I feel like many of you are like either control freaks. I myself am one, so I'm not being judgmental on that. But you want to see things through to fruition on your own terms all the way by yourself, or you're a person who just doesn't like to be a burden on anyone. You want to do it yourself, see things through because you don't want anybody else to have to feel like they helped, that kind of thing. But I think this situation, this idea of you being the one to handle it all the way through to its bitter end and with no help and no assistance and nobody helping you in any way, is kind of what's keeping you. It's stubborn. You're kind of almost being stubborn, and I don't want to sound awful, but that's how I feel. I feel like you're kind of being stubborn, and it's keeping you in a situation where you need the help and you're not getting the help. And again, I'm not saying you need big help. I'm not saying, hey, you're in financial discord and you need thousands of dollars and somebody would be glad to loan it to you, but you won't ask for it. That may be your case, but it may be something as simple as, hey, I'm completely maxed out and I need somebody to run my kid to soccer, and I've got 15 people who'd be more than happy to do it, or other parents that would love to pick them up on the way. It's no big deal, but I'm not going to ask. Okay. So, that's kind of where we're at. Now, what is it that's your ultimate outcome? And that's action. You're going to have to ask for the help. You're going to have to accept the help. You are ultimately going to have to take the action, and you will. Okay. You will take the help. You will realize in the end, I promise you, if you do the right steps, you do the things you need to do, you will realize in the end that it is better to, take the help, be part of a community. It takes a village. All of that kind of thing has been, it's been said a million times for a million years for a reason, okay? Because it's true. Nobody can do it alone. Nobody. And I don't care what it is. Nobody can do it alone, okay? We are on this planet billions deep for a reason, okay? So we can help one another, okay? So you're going to have to take the action to ask for that help, and you will. I do believe you will. But how do you get there? That's the question. Now, the first step is the void, and I love this card. I say that in every reading. So if you've been in my readings before, listened to them, you're like, oh God, you're a broken record, lady. I know. But I love this card because it shows somebody lying there in a very peaceful and serene place, and they are comfortable and they're contemplative, okay? Because the purpose of this card in this deck is to go into a calm, peaceful, happy, safe, and secure place and think about what you really need to make yourself better, stronger, happier, and come out that way, okay? And that's what you really need to do. You need to go in there and you need to ask yourself, is really running myself ragged so that I can see things through, or be a control person, or whatever? Is it worth all of this? Just when I have people who are willing to help me, when I have somebody who passes my house on the way to school or soccer practice, or I have somebody who's offering to help me with certain things, or somebody who wants to come over, my best friend, and help me clean my house, whatever specific thing it may be, somebody at work who's offering to help me with my project, whatever your specific thing resonates with you. I do think that you need to go in there and really weigh it out and think, is all my, my pride that I have to finish it, or my control that I have to finish it, is that worth wearing myself out, possibly missing out on things, possibly stressing myself to no end, running myself ragged, leaving nothing in the tank for myself? Is it worth it when I have a complete community who wants to help me? And the thing is, I think you'll come out and realize that it's not worth it. And I think that's where the action will come from. Okay. So, but that's something you have to mull over. But the fact that you have the option to mull that over lets me know that you have the option to ask for the help, which means there are people who want to help you. And that is a very important thing, because there are a lot of people who have no community, no family, no friends, no anything. And if you are a person who has this opportunity to go in here and even contemplate somebody to help you, then you are already above the game, okay? So what else do you have? Blossoming, right? And this is where you start to grow as a person. You start to realize that you don't have to be in control of everything. You don't have to always run from stem to sternum, wearing yourself out to do everything. You can accept help and still be just as good at everything you do, just as helpful. And heck, if it makes you feel better, return the favor, right? That's growth. Growth is understanding that you are blossoming as a person because you are realizing that you don't need to be so prideful that you have to finish the things. Because when you break it down, that's a lot of what it is. You have too much pride to ask for help a lot of times. You don't want somebody to see that you need help managing your house or managing your kids or managing your workload or whatever it may be, or asking somebody to help you with finding you a date, whatever it may be. But you know what? The more that you realize that you're putting yourself out there and you are admitting your flaws, admitting your shortcomings, admitting you need help, you're growing as a person. But not just that, but you're actually blossoming and growing as a person in the community, right? You're growing your connections. And that's huge too, because that is going to open up a whole new world to you. And also, again, it's going to give you the opportunity to return some of those favors when you have the time and effort to do that. And that's going to make you feel good and help them too. It's not just one-sided that way. So it's really a bonus win-win for everybody, okay? And that's where you get to blossom, okay? And then the last thing is nourishment, right? And this is where you are going to have time at that point when you've gotten the help and you've gotten the things to nourish yourself, your desires, your dreams, your ambition. Right now, you don't even have the opportunity to think about that yourself, what you need, what you want, because you're running yourself ragged trying to figure out how you're going to do things, how you're going to get what you need, how you're going to do what you want, whether it's job-wise, whether it's relationship-wise, whether it's home-wise, whether it's managing a household, workload, finding a significant other, rebuilding your life from scratch because it's fallen into the abyss, whatever it may be. You can't even think about starting to nurture your desires and goals and dreams and anything like that because you just don't even have the time, right? You may be even depressed about things. Whereas these are the people that you could be asking to help pull you out of that. They would be more than happy to help you, get you back on solid footing. You can always return the favor, but you'll be nourishing yourself, your future by doing that, okay? So let somebody help you, right? Stop being so stubborn, all right? Because once you do that and you start to grow as a person and you start to realize this is what I want, and now that I have the footing to do that, now that I have the contacts to do that, now that I've accepted the help and I'm not digging out of a hole by myself anymore, I'm on level ground and able to actually start making headway on my dreams and my goals and my ambitions again by nourishing those, then that's when you can really put the action into motion to make your life everything you want it to be, right? That's when you actually have a chance. You can't get ahead if you're constantly digging out of a hole and doing it by yourself, right? Again, it takes a village. We can't all do it alone. And especially if you've gotten into a hole, whether it was a self-made hole or whether it's a hole somebody imposed on you that you didn't deserve, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is how you rebound. And sometimes it takes help to rebound. That's the bottom line. But once you do, then you can take the actions to make the best you can be, the most nourished, most self-loved, most strong and independent you can be, and return any favors at that point, right? So these are the steps you need to take, and you're going to get there, and you're going to have see how beautiful this action is? This is like a ballerina in a beautiful action. This is an action of positivity, growth, excitement, goals, nourished goals, right? This is what you're going to have in your future, but you're going to have to accept some help and stop being so stubborn. And I say that from someone who is beyond stubborn. I've heard it from everybody my whole life. So no judgment, but just letting you know that's what the cards are telling me. So I hope you have a great one. I hope you hit that notification bell and do come back for your weekly reading and your monthly reading. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.